Welcome to the online edition of Nightwatch for March 2022. My name is Bill, and I'm coming to you from the Pseudocom Planetarium here at Adventure Science Center in Nashville. And as always, we'll start off with the moon phases for March. We find the moon will be at its new phase on March 2nd. First quarter moon on the 10th, full moon on the 18th, followed by last quarter on the 25th. As we look at the Earth's orbit around the Sun, we find that this month is that time of year where the Earth's equator is lined up with the Sun, so we have equal day and equal night for almost the entire month. And that will all culminate on March 20th at 10:33 a.m. Central Daylight Time when we have the Vernal Equinox, as the tilt of the Earth's axis begins to bring the Sun north of the equator, marking the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere, but fall for those who live south of the equator. Also this month, coinciding with the beginning of spring here in the northern hemisphere, we begin daylight saving time, and that will occur at 2 a.m. on March 13th. So don't forget to turn your clock ahead 1 hour. As we take a look at planets in the sky, we find that in the evening sky there are no planets to be seen. However, if you're up early in the morning before sunrise, between about 2 hours before sunrise and during morning twilight, you can catch a glimpse of 3 planets that have now gathered in the morning sky, and they're going to be putting on quite the sky show in the southeast. And that is the planets Venus, Mars, and Saturn. Look for the bright white glow of the planet Venus, which is very, very easy to see. And then down beneath it, a little bit to the right, we do have the planet Mars and also the planet Saturn, even farther down in the sky. Look on the early morning of March 28th for the very thin crescent moon below these 3 planets. It will be quite a beautiful sight to see early in the morning. As we take a look at some of the constellations in the evening sky, we'll start off looking at around 8 p.m. local time, and we find the constellation Orion the Hunter is now heading toward the southwest as we transition from the winter into the spring season. However, the king of the spring season is rising in Greek mythology, and that is the constellation Leo the Lion. Leo the Lion is marked by 2 groups of stars. One looks like a backwards question mark or maybe a farmer's sickle, and a right triangle on its side behind it. But put those 2 groups of stars together, which we call asterisms because they're not official constellations, and we do form that official constellation in Greek mythology that's known around the world as Leo the Lion. Now also this month, we're going to turn around and we're going to face toward the north, because one of the most famous and recognizable patterns of stars in the northern sky is beginning to rise up in the northeast after being close to the horizon over the winter season. And that is the asterism, the unofficial picture, that we call the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is actually part of the constellation Ursa Major, the Great Bear, but most people just recognize it as the Big Dipper in the sky. The Big Dipper is also close to the Little Dipper in the sky, and at the end of the handle of the Little Dipper, we have the very famous Polaris, the North Star. Definitely not the brightest star in the sky, but it is famous because it's the only star in the sky that doesn't move as the Earth turns as you face toward the north, because it is right over the North Pole. Now don't forget, if you can't remember everything I've mentioned in this online edition of Nightwatch, you can go online and grab a copy of our printed version of the star chart at adventuresci.org/starcharts. Also, don't forget to visit us here at the Pseudocom Planetarium at Adventure Science Center. We are open on Thursdays through Mondays, with the Science Center closed on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And we also do have some extended hours on Friday and Saturday. Visit us here at the planetarium for our regular edition of Nightwatch under the starry dome of the Pseudocom Planetarium. Also check out some of our other programs happening here in the planetarium, including our dazzling laser light shows with our brand new and spectacular laser light system. Check out our website, adventuresci.org. I want to thank you for listening to this online edition of Nightwatch. Again, my name is Bill, and we hope you can join us here at the Pseudocom Planetarium for some of our programs, as well as some of the other events and activities happening here at Adventure Science Center. Thanks for listening, and have clear skies.